Welcome, darling, to another descent into the macabre. I am Violet Nocturne, your guide through realms where the ordinary twists into the unthinkable. Tonight's tale, The Hollow Home, invites you into a quaint suburban house. Oh, but don't let the white picket fence fool you. It glares as much as it welcomes. And those walls, well, they have secrets. Do you hear that? Whispered breaths, sighs in the silence? No. Perhaps you'll feel them soon enough. Let's step inside, shall we? It began innocently, as all terrors often do. Erica and Lance were a seemingly ordinary couple. They spent 7 months house hunting until they found it. A 1920s craftsman-style house on the edge of a small, picturesque town. A dream, really. A steal, the real estate agent called it. How lucky, they thought. But as you know, darling, luck is often just the devil's calling card. The first night in the new home should have been a flurry of excitement. Unpacking boxes, cracking open a celebratory bottle of wine. But there was an oddness. Even as they arranged their belongings, they both felt it. An almost imperceptible stillness that wasn't welcoming them, but observing them. Erica swore she caught the vague scent of something metallic in the air, like old coins. Lance dismissed it as her imagination. You would too, until you smelled it yourself. Days turned to weeks, and with each passing moment, the veneer of charm began to splinter. Things went missing. Little things at first. Car keys, a stray earring, the corner of a comforter pulled neatly off the bed, as though someone had been tucking them in. Erica convinced herself it was nothing more than exhaustion. It's stress, she murmured to herself at night. And yet, when she stared into the ornate mirror in their bedroom, she swore she saw the foot of the bed reflected differently, just slightly off angle. Amusing, isn't it? How we dismiss the open hands of dread reaching toward us until they demand our attention. The turning point came on a Friday evening. Lance was working late. It was nearly midnight when Erica heard the thud upstairs, directly above the room she sat in. Lance isn't home yet, she thought. Perhaps something fell. Nervous laughter escaped her lips as she ascended the stairs. Don't you see? She was clinging to excuses, fragile lifeboats in a rising tide. At the top of the staircase, a chill ran its fingers down her arm. She turned toward the nursery, an empty, painted room they were saving for a future child. Erica flipped on the light. The room greeted her with still furniture and unpainted walls. But the closet door? It was ajar. Was it always this way? She whispered to herself. She placed her hand against it, letting the door creak open wider. And hadn't it been neatly empty before? Now, though, it wasn't. Inside stood a lone coat rack they never purchased. From one of its hooks dangled a string of twine tied into a noose. Erica stepped back, her breath dragging itself short. What would you have done, darling? Slammed the door shut? Burned the house to ashes? Or like Erica, continued spiraling into questions while the atmosphere thickened like smoke? When Lance arrived home, he found her in the kitchen, pacing. Her eyes were heavy with something more than exhaustion. She didn't even look up as he called her name. She merely muttered, "Did you know? The walls in this house are hollow." He laughed off her question, yet even his light-hearted chuckle sounded like a foreign object in their home's eerie silence. She didn't push further that night, but come morning, Erica had armed herself with a rubber mallet and began tapping along the walls one by one. Hollow thuds echoed in response. Hollow, hollow, hollow. Oh, but when she reached the baseboard behind the ornate mirror in their room, not hollow, solid, but unnervingly shallow. She grabbed a crowbar. Lance's protests were muffled as the tools bit into the plaster. And then, darling, the breakthrough. Behind those walls wasn't insulation or a blank void. No, what spilled forth were photographs. Hundreds of Polaroids, curling with time. but vivid enough to reveal grins of previous tenants, all snapped against the backdrop of that very house. And in the last photograph, an image of a man, blurred, faceless under a black hood, standing in shadow, but unmistakably pointing toward the camera, toward them. Lance stared at the mess and declared they needed to sell the house, needed to leave immediately. But the next night, as Erica lay awake, her ears startled to what had become unbearable. The walls weren't whispering anymore. They were crying, furious wails echoing through the home, the sound of something clawing to be seen. To this day, no one knows if Erica and Lance ever made it out. The house? Oh, it's on the market again. Would you like the address, darling? Or perhaps you'd rather not know. And so, as we step back into the night, remember this: the places you call home might not call you theirs. Sleep tightly, my dearest, if you dare. I am Violet Nocturne, and these are the echoes of the dark.